In 2009, Heart Gold and Soul Silver were released, strong contenders for both the greatest video game remakes ever made and the best Pokémon games ever made, and in this video we will not be playing them. Instead, we'll be playing the original Pokémon Gold. But what was it like to play it back when it released in 1999? Well, first you dumped your ROM and loaded it into your Game Boy Color emulator, and then you set the time to marvel at the day-night system. This is because you can harvest berries that grow over time, and Pokémon can hold items now, including said berries. A genuinely great mechanic that will become a fundamental part of all future games, and will be almost completely ignored in this run because the amulet coin doubles your money, so we'll only ever use that once we have it. Our mom tells us to meet Professor Elm. Elm lives with a wife and child in a one-floor, one-room house with no beds. Academic wages, man. Ain't what they used to be. He asks us to go meet his associate, Mr. Pokémon. Yeah, okay, sometimes we all get a bit lazy with our writing. Elm lets us choose a starter Pokémon to accompany us, so we choose Cyndaquil because then we get Typhlosion. And Typhlosion is tied for best with Feraligatr, but if we choose Totodile, our rival will pick Chikorita and we'll have to see its stupid face and all its evolutions during the game. Elm gives us his number, the Flirt, and we note the open window at the back of his lab that nefarious ne'er-do-wells could take advantage of. We then leave and see a suspicious looking guy eyeing up the lab who then shoves us away. What a dick who will never be redeemed. We get to Cherry Grove City. This is a Pokémon Center. You'll be relying on them a lot. Wow. Guess so, since you just burned us before we even get started. We get to Mr. Pokemon's house, who reveals he has a mysterious egg. What could it mean? Could Pokemon, somehow, come from these eggs? These are the foremost experts on Pokemon evolution with decades of experience, and this is somehow a brand new development. Academic wages, man. You get what you pay for. Even Professor Oak is baffled by this, but senses we're dependable and gives us a Pokédex. Thought you had to be special to get one, but apparently he'll give them to any 10-year-old who can carry a parcel. We leave to head back to Elm, but he calls us first in a panic because there's been a break-in. Who could it be? And on our way back, we get ambushed by the Lab Stalker. And he has a Totodile. What could it mean? He calls us a wimp. We beat him easily, but he still says he's going to become the world's greatest Pokemon trainer and shoves us again. What a dick who will never be redeemed. Back at his lab, a cop is taking notes. Pokemon is set in a fantasy world where the police do actual work. We let them know the thief is called Gary too, and the cop leaves because that's his job done for him. It's a fantasy, not a utopia. The cop still isn't going to do anything. Why did the thief only take one Pokemon when people can carry up to 6 and Chikorita was right there? Because no one would take a Chikorita even if it was free. After he gets over the amazement of a Pokemon egg existing, Elm suggests we take the Pokemon Gym Challenge. You know, there's something to do. Passes the time. So we head off to Violet City, and on the way our mom rings to say she'd wish we'd told her we were going on a solo journey across the region. In our defence, it wasn't planned out. We just so happened to get a Pokédex and start a Pokemon today. But it's fine. We're 10 years old with a fire mouse and a middle-aged man's phone number. We're over-prepared if anything. She asks if we want her to save some of our money for us. No. On our way to Violet City, we beat up Joey and his Rattata, so he gives us his number. We will never fight him again. The guard on the way asks if we checked out Sprout Tower. Being British, I've seen my fair share of dire city centres, but man, a tower of Bellsprout users. What a nothing attraction. We battle our way to the top, Cyndaquil evolves into Quilava, and we see the thief being told to stop being a dick to his Pokemon. The thief says nah, he only cares about strength. What a dick who will never be redeemed. We get given Hidden Machine 5. Flash. Yay. They kept the HMs. A flawless system. Good. I'm glad. The city of nostalgic scents. The thrills never stop in Violet City. We go easily beat the Violet Gym leader, Faulkner, despite his illegal level Pidgeotto, explore the ruins of Alph on our way to Azalea Town, and oh god, what is that? Kill it with fire. Good job, Quilava. As we're leaving, we get given a souvenir to remember Violet City. A seed. Truly one of the cities of all time. Joey calls us to let us know he beat a Rattata. Good talk. Caught him a Reap. Loved them more than anything. Beat up a picnicker called Liz and get her phone number. We will never fight her again. Random man offers us his rod. We'll gladly accept it even if it's old. We reach Azalea Town and find that Team Rocket have taken over the Slowpoke well to cut off Slowpoke tails to sell. Kurt the Pokeball crafter declares he will save them with his amazing apricorn carving skills, abandons his granddaughter and immediately trips and can't get up. We clear Team Rocket out with ease because we're their greatest weakness. A 10-year-old. For our bravery, Kurt offers to craft Pokeballs for us so long as we bring him apricorns. We will never do this. The gym leader here is called Bugsy. He uses bug Pokemon. We use Ember. The thief reappears so we can bully his Pokemon again. He says we only won because his Pokemon are weaker. Nothing gets past him. He also calls us weak despite us beating him, then says he hates the weak and storms off. What a dick who will never be redeemed. Ooh, what's this shrine about? We'll never know. don't bring it up again. We reach Goldenrod City and walk into a random house. A little girl offers to give us a phone number. Not her phone number, to be clear, just a phone number. We say yes. Normal interaction. And what's this? A casino! Children, avert your eyes. Peggy says this must be an 18+ game for depicting gambling in any form. How evil of Balatro. These games must never see a re-release. That's not a joke, by the way. Peggy would give these games an 18+ rating if re-released for depicting gambling, so if they do put them on the Nintendo eShop again, it'll probably be with the slots changed to just Voltorb Swap, even though no one likes Voltorb Swap. Okay, not gonna lie, the slots very much are gambling, with many of the psychological tricks of real-world slots. Just missing 777, nudging slots when you almost make it to give extra hope, a dopamine rush when you hit despite not making your original amount back. Hard to justify keeping it in a kid's game. Although it might be worth changing because it took about 15 minutes to finally hit all 7s. Worth it. Let's look at what hitting the jackpot gets us. Oh, 1/7 of a Dratini. Yeah, fuck this. I'm spending too much time in the slots giving myself mental damage. Let's go to Whitney's gym to unwind. Nah, I'm just kidding. We use smokescreen strats to cook 'em. Cyndaquil confirmed best starter. On the way to Ecruteak City, we fight a psychic dude levitating Pokeballs. There are a fair few people in the world of Pokemon that seem to have legitimate psychic powers. Odd that it's never brought up. Though when you've got children wielding fire rodents, it's not the weirdest thing. Ball dexterity. Calm down mate, we're 10 years old and we already have a middle-aged man's phone number. Won the bug catching contest. Suck it pros, came in and easily caught a Scyther and got the Sunstone we will never use. Squirt some wood, burn some wood. Get to Ecruteak City Pokemon Center. Bill the Pokemon body swapper makes a cameo to casually mention he's built a time machine and leaves. Hey look, a burnt tower. Wonder what it's called. Another writer desperately wanting to leave on time. Please stay away as it is unsafe. Well, if you don't want me to explore burnt buildings, maybe don't put mandatory story progression in there, Nintendo. The thief is here, calls us a wimp, accuses us of trying to get the legendary Pokemon first that has only been mentioned now for the first time. By him, we beat him again. He says he hates battling wimps because there's no challenge in it. Masterful levels of delusion. Says we'll never be able to catch a legendary Pokemon and leaves. What a dick who will never be redeemed. There seems to be some Pokemon here, but unfortunately we don't have Rock Smash to get to them. In Pokemon Crystal and the remakes, you don't need Rock Smash to get to them, but we're not playing those games, so oh well, let's go beat up some Kimono girls instead to get Hidden Machine 3 Surf, then oop, hang on, Picnic Liz is calling. Apparently we should use Pokemon Centers because they heal Pokemon. Also, she fought a Bellsprout the other day. What a great feature they've added. Anyway, let's beat up the local gym leader. Morty uses Ghost-type Pokemon, which aren't weak to fire types, but are weak to being 10 levels lower than Quilava. On the way to Olivine City, Quilava evolves and we visit Moo Moo Farm. There's an ill Miltank that needs to be fed berries to get better. Aww. Anyway, reaching Olivine, the thief calls us a wimp and lets us know the gym leader is out taking care of a sick Pokemon at the lighthouse. He then declares weak Pokemon should just be let go. A Pokemon that can't fight is worthless. What a dick that can never be redeemed. We take another guy's rod and reach the top of the lighthouse. Jasmine, the gym leader, lets us know she won't leave until the Ampharos is cured, but the medicine is in Cyanwood City. So off we go to smuggle drugs across city borders. The medicine comes from a sunglasses wearing guy's pharmacy, which is clearly just his living room, and calls the medicine a secret potion. The thief came by and stole this guy's Pokemon. What a dick that will never be redeemed. He still has one Pokemon left, and asks if we'll take it for safekeeping. Sure, we could do with an HM slave. Ooh, we can take a picture of our team. Let's do it. It's beautiful. Might as well beat the gym whilst we're here. Easy enough for Typhlosion to solo, ignore the Ampharos, and we're off back to Olivine. We slip Jasmine the pills to get Amphy amped up, and then easily solo her Pokemon team. She uses the newly introduced Steel type, which is weak to fire, which is very intuitive to how in real life Metal is usually a great conductor of heat, and so in Pokemon it's weak to fire because... We head to Mahogany Town, but find out a ruckus is happening up at the Lake of Rage. Oh no, a red Gyarados. This is to introduce the shiny mechanic. It gives Pokemon a 1 in 8,192 chance to look different to others, the kind of quietly evil mechanic that directly activates the neurons of addicts and makes them lifelong fans and makes everyone else go, I guess that's neat. We catch the shiny Gyarados since it's pretty high level for this point in the game, and we have 3 water type HM moves we'll need to learn, so we'll dump all of them plus strength on him. Lance appears after this to say he saw us battling and likes the cut of our jib. He could use someone like us to help him investigate the mysterious radio signal he thinks is forcing the Magikarp here to evolve. We agree, and he ascends to heaven with joy. Lance continues his magic tricks by getting his Dragonite to Hyper Beam an undercover Team Rocket member and making stairs appear. This moment always surprises me because you know if that Pokemon were real, they'd absolutely be used violently against humans. But this is one of the only instances I know where it explicitly happens. It's still cartoonish violence though, since the guy tanked a Hyper Beam and is just like, oh, that winded me, rather than being evaporated. Turns out there's an underground hideout full of Team Rocket members for us to beat up. Whilst we're bullying the criminal organisation, the thief makes an appearance to say Lance beat him up and told him to be nicer to his Pokemon. Then he shoves us like it's our fault and storms off. What a dick who will never be redeemed. Having bullied enough Team Rocket members, we shut down the generator emitting the radio signal, and Lance rewards us with the HMO6. Whirlpool. Wow. Thanks, Lance. You shouldn't have. With that sorted, we can take on the Mahogany Gym Leader Price. He's an Ice-type specialist, so using an over-leveled Typhlosion feels like bullying. Are we the bad guy here? Oh no. Best do something good to counter this, like taking on Team Rocket again, as they've taken over Goldenrod City's radio tower. How many times does a 10-year-old have to teach you this lesson, Team Rocket? The thief turns up while we're doling out free flame wheels to sample some himself, ignore the Ampharos, and says he doesn't know why he loses when he has the strongest Pokemon, despite them clearly being weaker than mine. Like, it's on screen. He realises maybe he should listen to Lance, who told him he should love his Pokemon? Perhaps he should stop being a dick? Perhaps he can be redeemed? Much to think about. Maybe love is the gateway to realising you just need to do some grinding, bro, it's not that deep. After flame wheeling the Goldenrod Tower to freedom, the director gives us a rainbow wing and says it's probably from a giant Pokemon. One of a legendary size, one might say? Like the one supposedly at Tin Tower in Ecruteak City? Hint hint. So we climb the tower to confront the legendary— oh hang on, Joey's calling me. A rematch? Nah. We wouldn't want to get embarrassed when you wipe the floor with us. You just hang out there. Anyway, we catch the legendary Ho-Oh and continue our journey across Johto. We pick up the HM waterfall in the ice path on our way to the final gym in Blackthorn City. Claire, the Blackthorn gym leader, is pretty tough. So whilst it's still a clean sweep for our over-leveled Typhlosion, it takes some full restores and smoke screens. Claire is unimpressed by these antics and says she won't give us the badge unless we retrieve the Dragon Fang at the end of Dragon's Den. The only dragon is the occasional Dratini, and the Dragon Fang is just laying there. Thrilling. Not a surprise they changed it to put an actual test in Crystal, because otherwise the only reason for this side quest is to make you use Whirlpool. This is the only mandatory use of Whirlpool in the game. Clearly worth not just keeping but increasing the amount of HMs. They should add 3 more in Gen 3 to make it an even 10 because it's just such a good mechanic. But now we can head off to Victory Road after a quick visit to Elm's lab. Hey look! We've gone all across the region, collected all 8 badges, and prevented the resurrection of a criminal organisation, and yet Chikorita is still here. No takers, huh? No one even taking it for free via that open window you still haven't closed, you daft bastard? Thanks for the Master Ball. Climb the Tojo Falls using the HM Waterfall. This is the only mandatory use of Waterfall in the game. Cool. Meet another Psychic on the way. He says he knows we're going to the Pokemon League, whilst we're on the road that only leads to the Pokemon League. Dude. Go solve crimes or something, what a waste of your amazing powers. The thief reappears to challenge us, saying he's now invincible. He has the best and strongest Pokemon. We're a weakling, and the idea of us fighting the Pokemon League is laughable. Have at thee! Ah, well, nevertheless, I'm going to find out why I can't win and get stronger. Go! Train! We didn't even have to whip out our legendary bird to beat you. You're already in Victory Road. Go fight some of the wild Pokemon here and use the convenient nearby Poke Center. But now, we're here. The Indigo Plateau. The pinnacle of our journey. We load up on full restores and mentally prepare ourselves for what will be the— Hi Liz. Yeah, we're good. Using Pokemon Centers? Yeah, that's a good tip. A Mareep? That could have been tough. Okay, bye. Cool. Anyway, time to only use Typhlosion to beat the Elite Four. None of Will's team know water moves, including his water type, so that's an easy sweep. Oh hey, it's Koga! Promoted from Gym Leader to Elite Four member. And he has a Crobat, so you know he treats his Pokemon well. Hey, I'm Crobat. Please don't use Flame Wheel on me. Oh, I can't believe you did that when I specifically requested you don't. I'm gonna use Double Team now so you can't attack me. Oh, I can't believe you used Swift on me. Who the heck still has that as a move at this point? Guess I'll die. Bruno's also a sweep, but proves more of a challenge. This would be worrying for the rest of the league if it weren't for one final nail in the coffin. Typhlosion learned Flamethrower. Karen never stood a chance. And so we face the champion, Lance. What? Oh my god, what a twist that would be if he wasn't part of the original game's Elite Four, so this was quite obvious. And for his final magic trick, Lance reveals 3 illegal level Dragonites, but Smokescreen and Flamethrower makes his whole team an easy sweep for Typhlosion, ignore the Ampharos. And with that, we can enter the Void, which holds the supercomputer, the only computer powerful enough to update the Excel spreadsheet column of the current champion and their Pokémon. A pretty standard ending. Not much of a change to the first game, but hey, don't fix what ain't broken. All that's left now is the post-game. Elm asks us to swing by his lab. Hey Chikorita, Elm gives us an SS ticket so we can go to Kanto, revealing that the post-game isn't just more substantial than the first game, it is the first game. Insane. Does any other game do this? This is amazing. Unfortunately, it's undercut by every Kanto gym leader suffering the same affliction as the Johto gym leaders, an unwillingness to over-level or have diverse move pools. So this is less a challenging journey so much as a breezy nostalgia trip. No visit to Vermilion City would be complete without visiting the Pokémon fan club. Isn't my Bayleaf adorable? No. Lieutenant Surge says he'll use the power he used in war. Not much is known about this war, but if he did well in the war, it seems no one used ground types. Off to Saffron Gym. Sabrina has a female Mr. Mime. Very progressive for the time. Unfortunately for you, Miss Mr. Mime, these flamethrowers don't discriminate. Off to Cerulean City. A foreign Team Rocket member stole a generator part because he didn't hear they were wiped out by a 10-year-old again and that we are that 10-year-old. So he gives up and tells us where he hid the generator part in exchange for his life. Drag Misty from her date to fight. Typhlosion can probably solo this, but it is a water type gym, so might as well throw Ampharos in there. Okay, never mind, Typhlosion sweep it is. Off to Celadon Gym. Erica is a grass type user. Moving on to Fuchsia City. With Koga at the Elite Four, his daughter's taken over Fuchsia Gym. That's cute. Hey, it's me, Crobat. Please don't use Flame Wheel on me. Oh, you know that's a cheat move to use Flamethrower instead. Off to Pewter City. Hold up, there's a Snorlax in the way. Just gonna squeeze right past you real quick. Level 50? Welcome to the team! A random NPC in Pewter City gives us the Silver Wing. We totally knew to talk to him specifically through intuition and the clever game design Game Freak used to point us towards them. No online guides were maliciously used in the making of this video. Checking out Mount Moon before the gym, and the thief makes his final appearance. He thinks he's finally cracked how to have strong Pokemon, and he has a different intro pose to show he's serious now. Oh, they're still under-leveled. Go train, you dumbass. Maybe he's not a dick. Maybe he's just too dumb to realise right from wrong. Like, don't steal Pokemon and go train the ones you have. He claims he's still going to be the best. His Golbat hasn't evolved though, so he's still a little shit. Officially unredeemed, and the point of his story remains a mystery. Brock's ground types could have posed a problem if they weren't 30 levels lower than Typhlosion at this point. Off to Cinnabar Island. Turns out Cinnabar was actually a volcano and erupted, destroying the established buildings. They've rebuilt the Poké Center, but nothing else so far. Good prioritization. And the gym leader Blaine has set up in a nearby cave. Me and my Pokemon are homeless now. We say unhoused Pokemon now. Please be cognizant of your language to remain inclusive and not stigmatise against those who have less than you. Also, give me the badge, your team sucks. Off to Viridian City. With Giovanni having hidden in shame for his criminal organisation being dismantled by a 10-year-old, the previous champion Blue has taken over as the Viridian gym leader. At between 19 and 15 levels lower than Typhlosion, Blue's team is the best challenge of all the gym leaders. Unfortunately, the level gap is simply too high. Oh shit, a Gyarados, ignore the Ampharos. And with that, we made Blue re-feel what it means to lose to a true Indigo Plateau champion. And speaking of true champions, we have one final challenge. But first, we're going to tie up some loose ends before the true endgame, which means going back to Johto via the magnet train in Saffron City. My dream was to build a train that is faster than any Pokemon. Some Pokemon can literally teleport. What are you on about?
I wrote a blog post a while ago about why I f***ing hate video games, because this is what it does. It appeals to like the male fantasy.
I'm on a high-speed train that turns up on time with a frequent schedule. Talk to this guy and he gives the TM for Rock Smash, in case you didn't find a Pokemon that learns it. So now we can go back to Burn Tower to activate the legendary roaming dogs, who immediately run away. There is no explanation of how to catch them, and they don't enter your Pokédex to track them, so guess that's that. Let's catch Lugia. We have a Master Ball. Let's visit Professor Oak. Hey look, all the starter Pokémon in Oak's lab are gone. Guess they were all wanted. Because they're all good. Well, Bulbasaur's kinda mad, but just want to throw shade at Chikorita one more time before the end. Oak says that because we've proven ourselves by collecting all 16 badges, he will arrange for us to enter Mount Silver, a home to terrifyingly powerful wild Pokémon. We head on up to Mount Silver, a daunting climb, but one that can be done. And there, waiting for us at the top, is Red, our character from the first game. The champion has become the final boss. Though we only ever used Charizard in that game, and based on how just using Typhlosion got us through most of this game easily, Red should be a push-up. The fuck? Okay, this is fine. Typhlosion knows Earthquake. It's just a Pikachu. We're fine. Espeon? No problem. Oh, it's the same level as us. This Flamethrower's not gonna kill, is it? Oh no, oh no, oh yes, that's fine. Raise your defense. Flamethrower again and we're fine. Blastoise. You can do this, Ampharos. This is what we caught you for. This is your destiny. That was expected. Get in there, Lugia. A classic same type matchup. Should be easy enough when you're legendary. Fly is doing some okay damage and Blizzard won't do much that's super effective. What? How are you weak to ice? Psychic flying? Why are you always in the ocean? Why can you learn surf? Why don't you know any psychic type moves? Why do you know Hydro Pump and Rain Dance when caught? What? Okay, it's fine. Use Recover to stall, they can't use Blizzard forever. A lucky crit, one more fly, and they're down. Snorlax? Easy. Oh, it used Amnesia. Now Hydro Pump is useless. Or more useless because it doesn't have a same type bonus because you're not a water type. Look at that nothing damage. That's with a Rain Dance. Why even waste the full restores? It knows rest. Okay, Typhlosion use Smokescreen, but Flamethrower's not going to work here. Who can get the job done? Our own Snorlax with Rollout. Eventually. Finally. Now it's just a Venusaur. Easy stuff. And finally, you. The hero of Gen 1. But your Flamethrower means nothing now. In the Battle of the Fire Starters, Typhlosion won, proving once and for all that Typhlosion is the best. What's that? Some leaks have come out explaining Pokémon lore involving Typhlosion. Oh cool! Everyone loves Typhlosion, the lovable Pokémon who explodes typhoons. Let's see here. I see. Interesting. Half humans, you say? Fascinating. Forced into a cave. Remarkable. And the internet has reacted to this with the understanding that it's meant to be Pokémon folklore and not real, much like we have folklore around humans and animals like Romulus and Remus. No? They're taking it completely literally as canon when it wasn't even put in the games? I see. One moment. I regret to inform you that for legal reasons, Cyndaquil and its evolutionary line is no longer the best Johto starter. It is in fact the second best starter. Still better than Chikorita. Yes! Snuck one more in there. End of video.